Hi, it's Jason Perico, here to tell you about Bianchi Honda's Model Year End Sales event going on now. Lease the 2017 Honda Accord LX Automatic sedan for $219 a month with no money down. That's right, no money down and only $219 a month. Stop in today because these year-end deals are going fast. Now we have it, and soon we won't.
Welcome back to the Sports Blitz. It's Thursday. That means another edition of the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. He is the head coach, Brad Rzyczycki. Coach, how was practice?
Oh, you know what I'm going to tell you. It's always good with these guys. 2 games that we've won in a row, and they come out and they're confident right now. Practice is always easier the week after a victory.
Sure. 76 points. I said to you as soon as you came in, if only you could run the ball. 220 yards for Mark Jones, and it took all of basically 2 quarters. How do you coach a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, he had some help around him. I mean, he had some holes that were really big on film. So, yeah, he had, I think, 210 at halftime. And, you know, we wanted to get him out there for another series because I think at that point we were up two scores. I think it put us up 24. We went for 2, and then we pulled him for the rest of the game. But, you know, I think what helped Mark Jones on Saturdays was helped us all year, Tyler Palka. I mean, the kid, he got involved in the run game, and you have to account for what he does too. So it helps Mark Jones' run game because, you know, Tyler's an outside kid. He has the ability to run between the tackles too, but he played really well on Saturday.
Are there areas that you look to improve with Mark Jones? It sounds funny to talk about improvements for a guy that's averaging what he is.
No, his best assets is blocking. I still think it gets overlooked by a lot of people, but the protection part of it, he's always conscious of who he's got to go get, even if it's 4 week. He's really good at it. So to this point, you know, Alex, he's a pretty good one. So we just try to make sure he's healthy going in from week to week.
That's what we look at the records, of course, and he is climbing the record books. I know the answer already. You don't care about the records, but it does work towards the same goal to have him out on the field running the ball right now because it's the best thing that you guys are doing.
I think only having 19 carries helped him out a lot last week. You know, he scored 3 times, so he ran out of bounds, I think, once. He got pushed out of bounds, so he only got tackled probably 12 times on Saturday. I think with the way he runs, that's going to help him out a lot these last 4 games because, you know, you get beat up at that position, you get tackled on every play, and we don't want him to be a high-rep guy where he can't function the next week. So this week really helped his, just from a health standpoint, to make sure he's walking into this game relatively healthy.
The highlight was hurdling a guy, and fans, we love that. I always think, no matter what level I see it at, how do the coaches feel about that? Because what goes up must come down.
Sure.
Are you cringing like me when he's in the air?
You know, with Mark, I probably don't blame him. And normally, you know, safeties and corners don't try to tackle him high. And to be honest with you, this kid was going to tackle him high, and Mark still jumped over him. It was one of the more amazing things I've seen from the sideline.
How high do you think he was in the air?
I'm not sure. I mean, they have it on video right now.
He must have been
but
5 feet.
I think the most impressive thing was that he caught his balance and then still ran away from everybody else coming after him. I think that was the most impressive thing with the entire play. So he had a big hole to run through if you look through the clip. I mean, it was, you know, they ran a blitz from the boundary side, and their defensive end didn't get down inside, and it was a big hole, and he was a one-on-one with the safety, and I don't think the safety had any choice but potentially to cut his legs, and I think that's what Mark was thinking.
You said that Tyler Palka helps Mark Jones. Tyler Palka and Mark Jones certainly help Jimmy Keefe, but what steps have you seen him take in practice? Is he improving from week to week?
I think his confidence is as high as it's been to this point. I think Jimmy's done a really good job of checking protections right now. It's, again, it's a thing that you don't see. You know, but there's particular thing teams give us that we know where we want our slide side and our man side to be, that Jimmy's got to get on the field and deal with everything else that he's seeing because we're no huddle. There's a lot he's getting from the sideline and still get us into the right protections where Charlie Long can get us the right Mike linebacker calls. There's a lot that goes on before the play, but that starts and finishes with the quarterback having everybody organized. So he does a great job with it. You see the confidence rising, you know, in practice and getting in the games, and the kids really believe in him right now.
Good stuff. How do you compare? You know what? I'm going to skip that. How about your defense? Vessels was all over the stat sheet. Is that his best game he's played?
Yeah, it's the most he's played. You know, Trayvon McNeil, Ryan Vessels, those kids played a lot. You know, DeJuan Walker was out full-time, played the entire game at corner, and he's played safety for us before. We had some injuries in the course of the game. I think one time we looked out there, and there were 7 true freshmen out on our defense, and I looked at Coach Thompson. I said, this is what we got right now. And they went out and played hard. They made plays. Ryan Vessels plays very passionate, emotional football. And that's what we recruited them for. Those guys got some valuable playing experience, but they were playing when the game mattered, not when it was out of control. And that's kind of how you look at it. And they've gotten some, I don't say some scrap time when it was Edinboro and we were up 47-17 against them, or 47-19 or whatever it was. It's kind of hard to go in the game knowing that these people are going to throw the ball. But Vessels, Trayvon, those guys got into the game when it mattered, and they had to play. And Trayvon and especially Ryan Vessels played a lot on Saturday. So, yeah, that's going to help us moving forward.
Is it a goal going in that if the game's in hand at halftime, you'd like to get guys like Mark Jones off the field? Ultimately, is the goal to get them some rest?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. It just doesn't happen as much where you're up that much at halftime. And obviously, we're going to face some pretty good teams here. So if we were up like that at halftime, you'd see an ecstatic head coach. But yeah, is the way the season goes, and as grueling as it is, and as much as we run the ball, if you can rest Mark to be able to get him fresh for these last 4 games, it's really important.
Cal this weekend, 12 noon. It is at home, and we'll get to the fact that it's Military Appreciation Day, but it's going to be a big game. I tried to get you down the path by saying you've got 2 big games coming up, and you quickly corrected me and said
we've got 1 big game coming up.
But it's Cal, and they're no slouch.
No, we've to this point have not defeated Cal, and they're always a really good ball club. Gary Gunn has these guys playing really well right now. I think they're 5-2 or somewhere in the ranks of wherever they're at from a record standpoint. But yeah, they've been our nemesis. We're going to have to show up, all hands on deck for this one. Not to take a pun from the Military Appreciation Day, but we got to play well. I mean, they're a sound defense, a good offense. The quarterback's been back, and I think this is his 3rd year starting. So we're going to have to play well on Saturday.
They are 2-2, much like Gannon, Edinboro, and Mercyhurst. You've got Cal coming up, then IUP, then it's Clarion, all PSAC teams. And right now, you could win your way in, but you got to win.
Yeah, that's the fun part about it right now because we're playing pretty confident. It's one thing you can't mimic during the course of the season, but once we got that first win, if you remember I told you 3 weeks ago, I think this thing would start rolling because you could see the confidence with the kids. So it's exciting. I know the kids are looking forward to this one versus Cal because they've been a part of this one in the past. And we played pretty good down there last year when Cal, I think, went undefeated through the PSAC in 2 games and 2 rounds into the playoffs last year. So 1 game at a time for us. This is Cal week for us. This is always a big game, and we're happy to play it at home.
Love the time that you guys take to honor the people who need honored, and the military, obviously included in that list. They will be honored on Saturday when Cal comes up to Erie, a special day.
Yeah, absolutely. With our American law enforcement game we had earlier in the season, the Military Appreciation Day, ROTC is a big deal over at Gannon. I've got a couple kids that are involved in ROTC. Just what these guys do to protect our safety is important, and we want to make sure that we go honor those people. There'll be some people that are out at coin toss for both teams that are going to walk out there. So they've got a couple things set for the day. I think there will be a tank out there, some different military stuff that the kids will have fun with too when they get over there. But yeah, I appreciate everything those people do, and we're glad to be able to honor them on Saturday.
What numbers should we look for? Are they dressed? That are involved with ROTC?
Logan Clark comes to mind the first and foremost. I mean, he's heavily involved in it. He's got his gear on all the time. So he's a smart kid, but he's definitely involved in it.
An important thing in an important game. So once the whistle blows, then it becomes strictly football.
Absolutely. Our kids are looking forward to the game part of it.
He is Brad Rzyczycki, head coach of the Gannon Golden Knights. Coach, good luck on Saturday. Always appreciate your time.
Thanks, Alex.